unboxing is This Is How We Play, a celebration of disability and adaptation. Oh, that's so cool. It's written by Jessica Slice and Caroline Cupp and illustrated by Kayla Harren. And it's published by Dial Books for Young Readers. And so, wow, this is just a really great way to learn about disability and how people who might look different are very much the same, and to learn how make you more comfortable, especially little kids, to interact with them. And so we have disabled moms and disability rights activists Jessica Slice and Caroline Cupp have written a joyful love letter to disabled people and how they, I guess how they play, whether it's imaginative or adaptive or, or just they have some kind of accommodation that allows them to play. And so here we have a person in a wheelchair, but it's cool because it's not just like a typical wheelchair that like maybe we see more commonly, but here's someone in a wheelchair that's heavily motorized, and then she has sort of this breathing tube. And so I think a lot of it's just to say like, hey, they're like us too, and like here's how you can interact, And here is another child on a wheelchair who has perhaps amputated legs, and it's sort of like modeling, hey, they still like to play, they can still race, and so and these are two sisters, but like hey, anyone can join in. And so here we have all kinds of examples. I think this is someone who is, I guess, dwarfism, a little person. But I think it's just, here we have someone who is seeing impaired and has a cane. And actually, my son's friend, my son is 20, and his friend that we had Top Pot with last night is working at Perkins School for the Blind, and he's on a co-op. Like he goes to Northeastern, so he has a 6-month co-op, and he's working and being paid, but also part of his education, and because he wants to be a speech pathologist. That's what he's training to be. And so he was saying how the Perkins School for the Blind, he has like 3 and 4-year-olds that he like he's like sort of like the aide to some of the teachers for these little kids, and that he was explaining like the situation of the kids. One of them has been blind since he was born, and the other one can see, but like can only see he can't see like the full range of vision. Like he can only see like almost like a narrow, like not perspective, like from like the whole 180. And then he also said some of the kids have more than one, like they might be neurodiverse and also like on the autism spectrum, and then also lost hearing or lost seeing, or they don't see or hear that well, but it's none of them that he knew were 100% loss of sight and hearing. But anyway, he was just talking about how it's so joyful. He said they're so cute, and they're and he's just learning like the different ways of adaptation. He's said how the caretakers, like himself included, like he says, like when you walk through a door, you announce yourself. So he would say like, hi, walk through the door, hi, it's Alex, like I'm the aide. And so because he said some of the kids, like if they don't know you as well, they don't recognize the way you walk to identify you, but that eventually, you know what I mean, like in their own home they would. I mean, I thought like that was fascinating. And he also said they have, everyone has a unique identifier on their wrist, whether it's a specially designed bracelet, or for him, he always wears a distinctive watch. And so like when you greet a child as well, it's almost like how you hold out your hand for a dog, but like you hold out your hand and then they can feel the wrist thing, and then they know who you are from that. And then he also said, because the kids are so little, like 3 and 4 and 5, that they don't know how to read yet. Because like, if they weren't, like kids that age are learning how to read if they're sighted. And so he said, like, so they, they're learning Braille, but he said it's like really long, it takes forever. But also, it's developmentally, because Braille's probably even more challenging to learn than just, reading, with your eyes, that, they're coming along, but like they still, what I mean? You can't teach them to read Braille in like, what I mean, in a matter of days or weeks or months, at that age in particular. And so he said, yeah, so they just, they do a lot of read alouds as well. And I was like, what do you do for the pictures? Because it's picture books. And he said, oh, we describe it. But he said the picture books that they have at the Perkins School have almost like these raised outlines. Like, like when you are, if you sew, there's like this little wheel thing that you can roll, and it leaves like little indented dots. And that's kind of to help you like to mark a pattern. I mean, I think that's what it's used for. I personally never use it, but it's almost like someone did that to all the pictures, and so that they can feel the raised outline and kind of get a sense of the shapes. And I was like, that's so fascinating. Anyway, he loves working at the Perkins School for the Blind. And then my son was like, he works at a YMCA camp. It's a day camp. And he was like, oh yeah, the Perkins kids come to the camp. It's part of their summer activities. They come to the camp, and then, they get to interact with all the other campers. And I think the ages are a little bit older. I don't think they're 3 and 5 years. I think they're more like middle school age. But then my son was like, oh yeah, I know the Perkins kids. Yeah, because they come at camp, and I've been a counselor. And so, we do stuff with them, and it's fun. But anyway, I just feel like more interaction normalizes it, makes people comfortable. Because I think a lot of it is just, it's abled people. Like, we don't really know how to react or how to interact. And then if we're not comfortable, then we're making them uncomfortable. And so this just kind of is giving us tools to say, like, this is how they play. Here's examples of how people play. And so that you can invite them or join in or realize there's all kinds of different ways to play. So a really important book, I think, and certainly belongs in every classroom. But I just feel like this is like the kind of book where you just read it once and the kids kind of naturally, intuitively understand it. And it kind of shapes their worldview in a really lovely, empathetic way. But anyway, thank you so much for making this book. Dial Books for Young Readers, and for sending it to me. And I hope you enjoy.